Blue Bridge here in Kennewick, Washington, with Mr. Andy Miller, Washington State Prosecutor, that has the COVID-19 policy, regulation, and services that apply. The Administration Office, which is the Trump Administration Office, and also the Bush Administration and Obama Administration, and also the Biden Administration. The presidential primary election that carries the entrance of Pasco, Washington, and entering Pasco onto the Lewis Street exit left. Pasco next 8 exits, and this service applies the COVID-19 policy regulation that the Andy Miller is Washington State Prosecutor, and he has this COVID-19 policy regulation services embedded at the Social Security office in Columbus, Cincinnati. Directive EFT transaction that carries the executive order, that carries the administration office, and the administration office carries the Blue Bridge affidavit. That Blue Bridge affidavit carries the administration office across River Appointment, carrying the executive order, and that executive order is carrying executive order of the administration office at the Hydro Lattices, the Lamb Weston Cup, and also the HAPO administration office at the administration of the COVID-19 policy regulations. Now, Mr. Donald Trump, Mr. Biden, and Mr. George Bush, and also Mr. Obama, and Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and also the administration office at the time being, which was Senator McCain. Now, Senator McCain's been beneath the administration office, and the service center, Meghan McCain, Roberta McCain, and their service in applying the COVID-19 policy regulations that carries the executive order. Now, the executive order carried the administration office, of course, to Clover Island for their services applying the COVID-19, and the hydro races here at the Columbia Park administration office here. The COVID-19 policy regulation, Mr. Andy Miller, Washington State Prosecutor. The running correlation for the Gold's Gym, which is bonding with Eli that connects to the administration office. You run this path all the way to Gold's Gym, and you run this path all the way to the administration office. In Moses Lake International Airport, there's an Army base called Bravo, 161st Battalion, that carry the executive order. The Bravo base in Yakima carries the administration order, and they carry the administration office and the COVID-19 policy regulation and services to its extremities. The Department License Department carrying this order, and executive order that carries a three-page Trimbles, Justice Department. These Trimbles containing Washington State court rules. These Trimbles containing federal guidelines, and also the rules and also the caption of each amendment and guideline that carries the executive order here at the administration office. And this is the Blue Bridge that brings the administration office to the COVID-19 policy regulations. Their service center, Mr. Andy Miller, Washington State Prosecutor, Shows Tabor Wallace, Kenneth W. Chadwick, his bar association. His address is P.O. Box 876, Freda, P.O. Box 876, Freda, Washington 98823, 509-754-5264, 509-5835 is fax. Andy Miller's 509-735-3591. And fax is 509-736-3066. Andy Miller at Seal Benton, Washington, U.S. 509-735-2591. Andy Miller at Seal Benton, Washington, U.S. Got bicycles that cover the Blue Bridge. Some blue tights, some urban wear in service of the COVID-19 policy regulation and services. And applying the COVID-19 policy regulation department licensing, they have this boat race weekend. They got this boat race weekend service applying to COVID-19, also the service applying administration office, and also the posted services they have. Mrs. Katie, the Washington State Patrol in Kennewick and Laguna, carry the executive order and their service fax information, and getting medical records for the dental records. These dental records they've been fighting for centuries. Since George Washington was president, they had his dentures. They really got his dentures, George Washington. Number 42 C Street, afraid of Washington. George Washington, President of the United States of America. Abraham Lincoln is also the successor. They took his body out of the ground, out of a tomb, into another area, just like George Washington. But they checked to see if he was real. See if he was Jesus Christ Almighty, because he was assassinated 3 times. In 1919, they built this bridge. They built this bridge in 1919. COVID-19 policy regulation and service, they built this bridge in 1919. In 1919, they built this bridge, and Abraham Lincoln was the President of the United States of America, George Washington was the President of the United States of America. This dental records here, I got upper, and I got lower teeth. I got a retainer. I got medical records in this service only. And it says Lewis Street. We just called Katie to refuse to get the dental records. He refused to do anything in every shape and way of nature. We called 911, they didn't even show up. We're going to City Hall, we're going to the police station to see the captain. Of course we're going to visit the captain, we're going to talk to him in the service, but they wouldn't apply this service to do an executive order. Norma Rodriguez is the prosecutor, and she's a prosecutor, she runs a prosecutor. This extent of the COVID-19 policy regulations service, Lola Hernandez, is back in 1919. Now, Lola Hernandez has been in, this is her century, she's centuries old, George Washington's centuries old, Abraham Lincoln's centuries old. Just to reveal the bridge and the services Abraham's Civil War, World War I, World War II, and the service of COVID-19 policy regulations. Mr. Andy Miller, Washington prosecutor, is a prosecutor. He does a marathon. He runs around and is on the service of the Kennewick Police Department service at the administration office in 7112 West Okanagan Place, Kennewick, Washington 99336. And this service applying to COVID-19 services of the Clover Island, which was an $80,000 renovation for the Hells Angels, showing up at the Clover Island, which was an $80,000 enforcement fee. Now they got a bunch of gravel and pea gravel now, after the successors have been in the COVID-19 executive order and bringing the administration office to its successors. Mr. Andy Miller. Norma Rodriguez practiced her services in Felice's office in Othello, Washington. Felice, and also the police service in Mr. Schultz Tavro Wallace, and also the Dado Garth administration office, prosecutor in Grant County Courthouse, the George Washington House, which is Schultz Tavro Wallace. That's C Street Northwest, P.O. Box 876, Freda, Washington 98823, 509-754-5264. Fax 509-754-5835. Fax Andy Miller 509-735-2591. Fax Andy Miller 509-736-3066. They're supposed to apply the COVID-19 executive order.